Hello, LinkedIn Live. I think we're live all of a sudden. Hi. Welcome to Mice Fights by Authentic Meetings and Incentives. I'm Natalie Horan, and this is your midweek Mice-worthy educational snack. So today we're headed to Belize with Simone Bell, Investment and Innovation Specialist at the Belize Tourism Board. So this small but mighty destination has been getting big attention, and Simone is here to tell us why. We'll wrap up with a quick Q&A, so drop your questions in the chat. Let's go.
All right, good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, depending on where you are. Natalie, thank you so much for having us on this morning. It's a pleasure for us to be able to share our beautiful gem of Belize with persons who are interested in meetings and incentives. I want to quickly just jump into our presentation. We don't have that much time. I will be providing you some insider scoops. So if you have a notebook, just grab a pen and paper, get notes, and we'll just quickly hurry this along. So the first thing most people ask is Belize accessible? So I'm here to tell you that we have about 13 direct flights coming out of the US. We actually just announced yesterday that Spirit is now flying out of Fort Lauderdale, so that needs to be updated on this map. But we have direct flights that will be able to transfer your clients to Belize from 13 points in the US, absolutely hassle-free. So we are accessible via air. We also are connected via land borders to Guatemala and Mexico, which means if you have group excursions in other areas, you can do a connected transfer. Now, looking at the opportunities that are in Belize, we are not an ordinary destination. So what we propose to you as an incentive traveler organizer is creating an immersive, culturally integrative experience that is a little bit more intimate and is showcasing or giving you an opportunity to be a part of our natural resources or heritage and delivering a memorable event. So I'm going to just quickly give you an idea of what the landscape is like and what you can do with your teams. So Belize isn't a very high traffic destination. Our maximum hotel room count is about 160 rooms, and that's located in Ambergris Key. We do have conference facilities, and depending on your seating style, they can hold approximately 300 to 500 persons on average. However, we are evolving, and we have quite a few developments that are underway that will be taking into consideration larger group needs, and we will be able to meet like really large corporate incentive travel in about 3 years' time. We do have sporting facilities, so we actually have centers that are able to take care of volleyball tournaments, golf tournaments. So if you are a charity fundraiser organizer, we can definitely align with your needs. And then of course, we have a lot of nautical experiences. We're number one for diving in the world. We have several awards to prove that. So if you're looking for a curated diving experience to see something truly magical and give your guests that memorable experience, we are that. So what are we what do we do? We pretty much do a lot of destination weddings. You could have the beachfront experience, or you can have the jungle experience. We do quite a bit of leadership seminars, symposiums, and of course, as I mentioned before, we do some fishing tournaments as well. So where we want to differentiate is for the organizer that's looking to set themselves apart. We're an emerging destination. As such, we tend to promote sustainable, eco-conscious events. And those are the ones that will allow your guests to be culturally immersive. We do have a thriving local artisan sector. So, for instance, if you're looking for a specially curated gift that's not typical, we have chocolatiers, we have woodworks, we have leather artisans, we have domestic food companies that are able to produce very quaint corporate gifts that are unlike what you'll find on the mass market. And we are definitely the place for team building activities. Some of our experiences are beyond average. So, for instance, we offer what is very popular to cruise tourism: cave tubing, zip lining. Of course, I can't leave out snorkeling because we have the number one blue hole in the world, and the largest living barrier reef. And we have several authentic cultural experiences that your guests can partake in. I'm not able to go through every single experience here today, but I can tell you that if I were, we'd spend a lot of time here. But there's some very unique things that can be done here in Belize. And one of the things that we tend to promote is the ability to integrate ancient cultures with modern day civilization. So, for instance, if you're looking for an extraordinary destination event, we, with permits, will be able to allow you to have an event that's at a Maya ruin. And I chose a picture that will highlight that. And again, I will not hesitate. We tend to align ourselves with clients that believe in the same values as ours, which is why our product is not a mass tourism product. We tend to go with smaller groups, one because of hotel space, and two because of the imprint that they have. We wish to make sure that all of the experiences are memorable, and we have very intimate activities that we tend to promote, such as cooking classes, we have crafting chocolates. We also have varying women's groups, whether they're Mayan or Garifuna, that will allow you to enter their homes and have handcrafted meals or participate in basket weaving. So, those are the culturally building activities that we have on offer, in addition to a lot of adventure opportunities. So, what I did for you today is that I pretty much asked Google, what is it that you guys want to know? And I have compiled a list of questions before we get to your question and answer period. And I wanted to address some of those concerns here today in kind of like a insider scoop situation. So, one of the questions that came out is, what are the top venues for weddings? No, as a board, I'm going to scream to you that every destination is viable. However, we do have some that will allow for you to have a little bit more. So I'm going to call out like Placencia and Burgess Key, Kikaka. We're going to call out San Ignacio, which is Cayo, because within those districts, you have a myriad of travel experiences and tours and nightlife that will be able to extend just beyond the conference, because we allow for the clients to be able to have a little bit of fun, kind of work and play. Are venues equipped with Wi-Fi? Yes. Do we have avian staging? Yes, we have a couple of providers here in country that should be able to meet your needs. If there's any particular equipment that you're looking for, you could definitely hit me up with an email. I'm on LinkedIn as well, and ask. What's the best year to avoid weather related disruptions? So, we are a Caribbean country, which means that the same hurricane rules would apply. If you really want to maximize the event's ability of no rain, then we would encourage you to have that event between late November to about May, because that's when the rains start to come in. Although summer events are wonderful, you just have to make sure that you check the weather. No, there are a couple legal requirements that you need to know. So when you are hosting public events, there are permitting process. You have to get approvals from the necessary councils. Drone permits, yes, those are all things that are required. And then we have more detailed information on our website, and I'll show that slide afterwards so that you can connect. But you are required to obtain a drone permit whenever you're bringing equipment into the country. I believe it's about 500 Belize dollars, which is 250 US, and that needs to be done before arrival, or else they may confiscate the item on arrival. Fireworks, you have to apply through the police department, the explosion and control substances unit, and you will also be required to have a member of the fire department present when launching. Now, what are the legal requirements for foreign nationals to get married in Belize? They need to be here at least 3 days before. They need to apply from the permit 2 weeks before they're married, and then they need to have at least a justice of the peace officiate and have 2 witnesses. But this information is also on our website. Now, how accessible is Belize for international guests? I did go over that. We are accessible from several destinations. If you're looking at European connections, we advise that you connect either through Miami or you can connect through Mexico and get here. We also have land transfers available from Guatemala and Mexico. And while you are here, you have to understand that our geography is a bit different because we consist of both mainland and island. So our two most popular keys are Key Kako and Ambergris Key. So there are additional considerations in terms of getting items to those areas. So for instance, we have several barge services that are able to transport your items from the mainland to the keys, and the keys are absolutely fabulous, but they do incur a bit more cost. And the same thing is for transporting your guests. You have two options of getting to the keys. You can either fly on, I believe it's a 13 or 15 seat caravan, a beechcraft, and you will. So that's a puddle jumper. So it's a very quaint flight that offers the most beautiful views, and you can also get to the islands by water taxi, which is a very large ferry. Now, couple of the other questions that people ask us is, do we have local vendors that can provide the quality? And I will attest, yes, we do. We have several caterers, event planners, there are DMCs that are located here that you will find some of this information on our website, but you could always reach out to me for some recommendations. And I've highlighted a few of the cultural activities that can be experienced. But to go a step further, what is prominently offered is like Garifuna dancing and drumming. That's from an indigenous ethnic group here. We also have Mayan cooking classes, chocolate making, basket weaving. You have field research that can be pitched to student groups and universities. So you have opportunities for them to come and do research and development here in Belize, as well as social initiatives. We have group accommodation. So we're going to go to what group accommodations are available. I did disclose that our maximum room size is about 160. So there are about 5 or 6 properties that will be able to entertain larger groups. Outside of that, if you're looking at destinations, you're able to book several hotels because they're all within a short space. And the transportation is, if you're in the Keys, it's done by golf carts. If you are here on the islands, we do have several shuttle services that can be recommended for you to be able to transport your guests. What medical and emergency services are available? So we have a major hospital in each district that's equipped with ambulance response services. And we also have polyclinics, which are near emergency medical facilities. We have access to air transport, medevac, and it depends on the type of travel insurance you have. So I would definitely recommend when you're coming to Belize to obtain travel insurance so that in the event that you have a very serious emergency and need to be medevaced, I would advise all of your clients to purchase travel insurance before you come. We also have event insurance. So you can work through one of our local insurance companies. We have about four major insurance companies to be able to purchase event insurance. And do we take wire transfers? Yes, we do. Most businesses accept all credit cards with the exception of American Express. So that's the only credit card that you may encounter some difficulty with. And I think that's some of the inside scoop that I just wanted to share with you to preempt some of the responses that you have or the questions that you have. I'm gonna leave this here while we do our Q&A. This is actually our travelbelize.org website. You can scan it or you can visit us at www.travelbelize.org. Now we have a wealth of resources available. You can quickly go and navigate the page. You can find sample itineraries if you're thinking of planning destination events. You can learn more about the particular areas. You can also learn about some of the cultural events that can be integrated in your preparations for suppliers and vendors, etc. We can connect you. So, for instance, I would advise you to get in touch with the board directly, and we would be able to connect you with event planners, caterers, event rentals, AV equipment, hotel partners that would suit your specific need, as well as I believe I'm not very familiar with the MICE network, but in the Travel Leaders Network, I believe we have just under 200 travel leaders that are familiar with our product. We host destination sessions, and you can become a Belize travel expert through our travelbelize.org page, and you can get a little bit more familiar with our product so that we can help you make Belize more attractive for your client. And with that, I'm gonna actually turn it over to Nat. Here's a Q&A.
Thank you so much, Simone. I mean, you answered a lot of questions just now, so that answered the majority of it. I think it's interesting that the max amount of hotel rooms that you have is 160, which I think is really good for planners who I think a lot of planners that's a typical group size, so it's not a bad thing. It's um all the more reason why would tell planners to reach out to Simone and talk about your specific groups, because that's one of the cool things about Belize is that I think sometimes destinations can become a little bit copy and paste. But Belize is very much able to work with you and be flexible. And you guys have so many different types of excursions, way more than I expected. I did not realize how inland. I mean, there's all kinds of things, which is really interesting for those who want to look more into learning about Belize and all the cultural experiences. That's why I'd say if you talk to Simone specifically about your groups and your needs, I think that's the best way to navigate all of this.
For sure. And as I mentioned, it's impossible in half an hour to wrap up the beauty of what Belize has on offer. I mean, we are island and mainland experience. I mean, we often thought that, we're one of the few places in the world that you can be on top of a Mayan ruin in the morning and then you can be splashing on the beach in the afternoon. And we definitely focus on our cultural preservation as well as our protected area conservation, which is why we continue to have as many amenities on offers and attractions. And whenever we invite people to participate in all of the experiences here, we just want to be able to promote that we are an eco-conscious and sustainable destination, and that the imprints that you leave here will be just memorable and nothing very
Yeah.
extensive. So
I love
that's
that.
that's where we are in our thought process. But we're a boutique destination, so we're not mass tourism oriented. We do have two cruise ports, so you're able to combine a cruise trip with inland adventures, and we have several DMCs that you're able to work with both locally and overseas. Um, Resources are definitely available on our www.travelbelize.org website. So I would encourage you to use as much of the information that is available there. And as I said, if you have any questions, you can find me on LinkedIn. Um, my email address is simone.bell@belizetourismboard.org. Send us a quick note and we'll try and connect you with the partners that will make your event reality. We are only 2 hours out of Miami, 2.5 out of Atlanta. Texas is the same thing. LA is 4 hours on a good flight, which is Alaska Airlines or American. So we're definitely within reach and should be considered as a destination for you guys.
Yeah, I love that you guys make it really easy to check so many boxes that everybody's already trying to check, but often it's just more effort to try and incorporate the sustainability and the cultural everything. And with Belize, you guys just make it part of it right off the bat. So that just makes it so much easier for the planner to create this culturally immersive, sustainable event on and on boutique. And it's just part of who you guys are. So that's fantastic.
Yes, thank you, Nats.
And everybody, you'll be hearing more about Belize through me because I talk a lot about things that I like. So you'll be hearing
Mhm.
that, and you can reach out to me to get in touch with Simone or Simone directly through here on LinkedIn. Or yeah, this has been fantastic. Thank you so much, Simone.
Thank you again for having us, and I look forward to assisting in whichever way we can.
Great. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.
Bye bye.